It's amazing to me, man, how well the Democrats and the corporate media have been able to just prop up such a completely fraudulent candidate in Kamala Harris. I mean, nothing substantive, nothing real. I mean, they want you to believe that this is how their campaign is actually going. And even if that was the way it was actually going, I mean, obviously, I'd be the first to tell you that would be impressive if that was real. But the funny thing is, the people who comment on Trump crowd size for basically the last decade now, they're now trying to claim that their own crowd size, even the ones that they've been accused of embellishing with AI, but they want you to believe that their crowd size is now an indicator that people actually want this horrible, horrible product that the Democrats are selling. But that's not how it's actually going. This is how it's actually going.
Look, if he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
It's hard to even feel sorry for him, man. They created these people. They allowed these people to believe that if they burned enough stuff and they threatened enough violence, if they did enough crazy things, shouted enough people down, then people would actually bend to their will. They made these people believe that they could have their way. They created the leftist mob, so they shouldn't be surprised when it turns on them, right? And obviously, what an epic fail that is for Kamala. I mean, she's been hiding ever since she announced that she was going to run for president. And the first moment that anyone challenges her, her answer is just shut the hell up or you're a Trump supporter. And that's just not going to work, man. Even dumb leftists have real concerns and they're going to make sure she hears it, right? But the crazy thing is, Kamala Harris really believed that she'd be able to just show up and give the same rehearsed canned speech wherever she goes, and that would be enough for these people.
So good to be back in Michigan. Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, hear me, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
I honestly cannot believe that anyone on the planet can look at these people and not just immediately recognize that they're complete and total frauds. I mean, I think most of them actually recognize it, but they go along with it because they think that these people actually hold their values. But if your values are represented in someone who is clearly a complete fraud, then what does that actually say about these values that you think you share with those people, right? I mean, it's wild when you really break it down. But the same people who think that Donald Trump is every ist and every ism that you could possibly be, the same people that say that Donald Trump is a fraud, that he has no values, cares only about himself, blah, 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 all the garbage they say, the same people that say all that, they are all in in every single way on Kamala Harris. So, I mean, how does that even work, man? And honestly, I don't think that it does work. I don't think it can work for very long. And it's already unraveling. You know, Kamala Harris basically buckled almost immediately after Donald Trump said this.
It's the same policies, open borders, weak on crime. I think she's worse than Biden because he got forced into the position. She was there long before. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California as the AG. We have somebody that, in my opinion, is more incompetent. She couldn't pass her bar exam and lots of other things. And she should not be in a position because if she becomes president, our country is going to be a giant fail. It's going to fail. That being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th. And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those three dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th. We have spoken to the heads of the network, and it's all been confirmed, other than some fairly minor details. Audience, some location, which city would we put it into, but all things that will be settled very easily, I think it'll be very easy. The other side has to agree to the terms. They may or may not agree. I don't know if they're going to agree. She hasn't done an interview. She can't do an interview. She's barely competent, and she can't do an interview. But I look forward to the debates because I think we have to set the record straight. Why is it that millions of people were allowed to come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, insane asylums, even insane asylums? That's
everything he said is true. Everything he said is verifiable, and she immediately went out and proved it.
Madam Vice President, Donald Trump agreed to 3 debates. Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump, and we have a date of September 10th. I hear he is finally committed to it. I'm looking forward.
What about the other 2?
Let's make sure we get this photo of everyone looking right here, right there.
I mean, just look at her, man. I mean, she walks through a room with just a couple very friendly journalists in it, people she knows, and she looks like she's in actual danger, man, like real physical danger. And she can't even answer a simple question because personally, I think she really is afraid to debate Donald Trump. I think she's probably afraid to debate anyone. She knows no matter how she opens her mouth, she's going to get exposed. You know, I don't know what strange psychological thing is going on between her ears about her public speaking, but whatever it has burrowed itself so deep down into her brain that she just can't do it. You know, she has to be protected. She has to have a script. So it's pretty smart to watch what the Trump team is actually doing. They agreed to her debate and 2 more. And if she doesn't show up on the 4th, the first debate, I think that'll be the answer right there. You know, it'd be really, really easy for Trump to just show up alone, turn it into a town hall and just talk about how Kamala Harris doesn't respect the American voter enough to actually debate. It's a smart move. And they asked for this, man. The Democrats asked for this. You know, Democrats, they don't ever learn the easy political lessons. And those lessons have never changed. You know, be careful what you wish for, and you will always get exactly what you voted for. Except, of course, when you end up with Kamala Harris, because no one actually voted for her, which honestly, that's probably going to be the real reason that none of this stuff actually works. But just watch this, listen to her answers, man, and pay real close attention to her actual body language.
Reporter Shauna Mizell in Minneapolis following Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Of course, Walz is on the road with Harris. Shauna, good to see you. One of Trump's campaign critiques of Harris is that she's not taking questions from the press. Can you fact check us on this?
Lindsay, good to be with you. That is exactly right. Trump, J.D. Vance, and other Republican allies were repeatedly going after Kamala Harris, saying she had not been seen. They were asking, where's Kamala? They said that she had not been seen since Biden stepped down and she became the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. But just earlier today on the tarmac in Detroit, Vice President Harris actually did take questions in a gaggle with reporters, and some of the things that she addressed are some of the things that we just heard from our ally Novello, some of the things that Trump said. She did acknowledge Trump saying that he will debate her. She said she was happy about that, and took a few more other questions amid all of that controversy and questioning from Republican operatives saying, where is she and why isn't she talking to reporters?
But President Trump had a press conference today. He talked about a lot of things. What if you have reaction to what he's talking about?
Well, I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debates?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th, for sure.
He proposed two more debates.
Like I said, happy to have that conversation.
Why do you think he pulled out of the debate with you? Why do you think
I am beyond trying to speculate about how he thinks. What else?
Can you comment on some of his other criticisms? He made a whole litany of them today. Some of them are about your...
I was too busy talking to voters. I didn't hear them.
Some of the criticism has been about your vice presidential pick and his leaving the National Guard at 24 years. Vance said that he deserted his own troops or his own colleagues. What's your take on that?
Listen, I praise anyone who has presented themselves to serve our country. And I think that we all should.
Madam Vice President, there's been a lot of questions about when you're going to sit down for your first interview since being the nominee. Do you have any update on that?
I've talked to my team. I want us to get an interview scheduled before the end of the month.
Thank you.
What do you make about the attack on your husband's face?
Thank you so much.
Just think about that, man. Think about everything you just saw and heard right there. She loathes these reporters. I mean, her body language says everything. She hates these people, and she hates them just simply because they're doing their job, because, well, when they do their job. She hates them because they ask her questions, because she knows that she can't answer them. I mean, when you're not a genuine person, you know, when all you are is a political puppet just for show, this is how you act. You know, she tried to tell these people that she hasn't paid any attention to Trump. I've been busy talking to voters. I mean, she thinks that giving the same rehearsed speech and telling people basically shut up or you're a Trump supporter, she thinks that's talking to voters. I mean, there is no way that this can continue. It just can't continue, man. Pretty soon, even people who aren't really paying attention, they're going to start seeing what is really going on here. And the media, they're going to have to pivot, man. They will eventually realize that if they keep propping her up, if they keep protecting her, they're going to lose whatever credibility that they have left. There's just no possible way that they can keep it up. And if they do, man, I mean, the whole thing comes down. If they're not careful, everything's going to come down. But that's just my take, man. I thought you guys would appreciate seeing that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.